July is usually when the berries start to be ready, but this year they're a little bit early, so I'm going to pick loads of them today. And I'm going to start with the wild strawberries. Wild strawberries are fairly common in hedgerows. They're just like strawberries, but they're much smaller, and they're much sweeter as well. And you can eat them from when they sort of turn that colour and until they sort of go darker colour, and really sweet. That's about as big as they get, but they have a much longer season than ordinary strawberries. If you look here, they're still flowering. There's a little flower there, and they carry on flowering, and they've been flowering since I think March or something. And I've been picking wild strawberries for quite a while now. There's just loads and loads. Every day there's wild strawberries. And they're so sweet. It took a little while to pick them all. There's quite a big one there. It's quite nice. They spread throughout hedges, woodlands, under trees. They like it growing on a dry bank like this, not anywhere damp or anything like that. There's quite a bit of dryness. And they'll just spread with these long runners which come a bit later, and they just root themselves in all over the place and seed themselves in. There are so many. These have been here for as long as the hedge has, which is, I don't know, about 8 or 10 years or something. And there's just so many. Every day we can pick strawberries here. There's just millions and millions of them, and they're so sweet, much sweeter than the cultivated ones. I mean, the cultivated ones are nice, but these are just way nicer. And it's just looking through the whole lot, and they go all through the bank here and out the other side. Loads and loads of them. There's one. And even when they're kind of that kind of colour, you can eat them. Really tasty. And I'm so glad we put them in here, because they've just given us so many crops again and again, and you can eat the leaves as well. The leaves are quite nice. See, there's some there, and then we'll move along a bit further and pick some more. So every day really I can come and pick some from here. Just move the leaves like this, and you can sort of see them hiding underneath here. And they're all through here in the hedge. You can see all this undergrowth, which is strawberries. Now the leaves are actually surprisingly nice as well, and they have loads of medicinal uses. The young leaves that taste nicest, and they do taste surprisingly nice, and you can make leaf tea of them as well. As I move along, there's another load here, just sort of with 2 hands to pick these ones, and there's just loads of them, and there's always some hiding underneath. So we just move the leaves apart, and that reveals loads of other ones. And when they're just slightly coloured like that, you can eat them as well. Really sweet and nice. And then when they get to that sort of darker colour, they're still edible, but there's the same level of sweetness for both. There's loads here I missed. Look at that lot. Some of them have been eaten by slugs a bit, but most of them are okay. And that one probably be left in another day. Loads and loads of them. This is the other side of the hedge, the sunny side, and there's usually more on this side. You see just tons and tons of them. That's the biggest one we've found today so far, but rarely they get that big. But on the sunny side you usually get more, because although they like growing under the shade of trees, they do like to grow on the side that catches the sun more. So sort of sunny woodland bank, sunny hedge, and where you get them, you usually get loads and loads of them. And there's just really nice big fat ones here. You just sit here for ages just picking loads of them. And there's no hassle of having to grow them or weed them or anything. They're just here. And this hedge would be here anyway. It's a boundary between different bits of the land, so you might as well grow something nice to eat on it. And there we go, there's a load more here. Just been sitting here all day picking them, really. It's a huge one there. That was another big one. And already we've been getting quite a few here. So yeah, as I look through again, just put the leaves aside, and they show up loads more ones. And you can be quite quick harvesting them. and then I move along a little bit, and there's a load more here, another really big one, and just work along, just picking them and picking them and picking them. There are just so many, and the more you pick, the faster at picking you get. Some more there, some more there, and every so often there's one for me, 2 for the bag, 1 for me. And there they are, growing right underneath this prickly pear here. Tons and tons and tons of them. I just adore strawberries. And once you get a successful load of these wild strawberries go, there's no real need to grow ordinary strawberries. And there's just so many. Look at all those. Just look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Just pick off those ones. They're just beautiful. And there's so many of them, and these just don't have a little season and stop like cultivated strawberries. They carry on going and going and going, sometimes right into the autumn. Last year we had them right till the autumn. They do have a main peak in the summer, but they just keep going on for most of the year really. And of course the leaves are there all year round. There's loads and loads of them, and all over here as well. You can see in just a few minutes of picking I've got all these. And there's just loads more here. If they go kind of like that kind of colour, they're a bit far gone, so we lob that one and that one. Look at all that lot. See these ones up here, big fat ones. They have more on the stem, way more than the cultivated strawberry does, and you just pick so many. I mean, this is just in a few minutes. But imagine these, because picking every hedge, you'd have tons and tons of them. All the way down, and then when you get to about so high from the base of the hedge, they just stop. It's like they don't like it any further down. It's too damp for them down there. And you don't get any spreading onto the bit down here. But from here upwards, down the other side of the hedge, you get loads and loads of them. And you could just really just sit here picking and eating them all day. It's just so lovely. And what now? They have actually a few medical uses. I mean, they're fruits, so they have all the benefits of a fruit, all the health benefits and everything. But with strawberries in general, when you eat them, they clean your teeth, they polish your teeth and make your teeth all really white. It's kind of strange. I saw that in a herb book once, and I ate a few strawberries and thought, oh, it's true. If you eat actually, this actually makes your teeth go really white. No idea why that is, but it certainly works. Anyway, there's just loads more here, just sitting in one spot for ages, because there are just so many everywhere. And that's before I've even parted them to see the hidden ones. And I think that one there. And there's a huge variety of trees in the hedge. There's also hawthorns and pears and hazels and a whole mixture of trees. They like growing under a wide variety of wild trees. And there's a prickly wild pear there. And then here, there's actually a New Zealand daisy bush. So this is the edge of what will be the garden here. So I put just a garden shrub here. And this is Alaria. It's an evergreen which has these little daisy flowers. It's not very impressive this year. I think it's suffered a bit in the winter. But the wild strawberries, look, they quite happily grow under it as well. Look, there's loads of them growing underneath there. Just quite happily, just like growing under anything else. They seem to do particularly well under here. The way to pick them with 2 hands is to sort of pick them with 2 hands, but then filter them down into the palms of your hands, so you can pick more, and then they store in like the palm of your hands like that. So just pick them, and so then you can pick with 2 hands. You can pick twice as many, and you see they just filter down into your palms of your hands, and then you can just empty them into the pot like that. So it's a much quicker way of picking them, and as you pick them, you develop ways of picking them more quickly. So just like this, down to the palms of your hands, and you see you end up with like a handful of strawberries. Just tip that in there, And then all these ones up here, just pick them. And oh, there's some big ones I missed. Oh, huge ones. How did I not see those? There's always some that you miss. There's always some that are left for the birds. There's just millions and millions of them here. But this is like the edge of the strawberry patch. That's where it stops there. And for some reason they don't like growing over any further than there, or they haven't got that far yet. So maybe they'll spread all the way along the hedge one day, or maybe that's as far as they want to go. I'm not sure. But oh, there's a load more there. So that's very good for a few minutes picking. That's a lovely amount. Now I think we'll do the June berries next. The pond is very low, so that allows me really good access for the June berries. Now the June berries come from North America, from the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, Oregon, Washington, and into Canada, British Columbia. And here they are. June berries are called Amelanchier, the Latin name, and you can see loads of them here. These have only been in a few years, and they have really nice sort of flowers in the spring, which come just after the flowering cherries. And then when the berries come out, usually June, they're a little bit late actually this year. When they turn, they first come this kind of reddy pinky colour, and then they turn like purple, and they're ready when they're purple. So they just usually pull off quite easily when they're purple. And this is the most they've ever produced. They're sort of quite like growing in damp places, which is why I've got them on the edge of the pond here. Just a few that are ripe. Balancing in the squishy mud is not all that easy, but I'm just sort of combing through and picking all the purple ones off. And they go on for quite a while. They're really just starting now. So I'm just going to get what there is of these today and add them in with the other fruit. Oh, there's a few more purple ones there. There's another few here on this little garden island bit. Only really just a few, but all significant. Eventually these will get about 20 feet tall, I think. And they are just great, you know, so they've got a nice garden plant, they have nice coloured flowers. And then in the autumn they had really nice autumn leaves as well. So they have 3 seasons of interest and edible fruit, so that can't be bad. They're not as glamorous as flowering cherries. They come just after the flowering cherries, but they make a nice kind of background colour really. And really useful plant, June berries, Amelanchier. Just 1 or 2 cherries. The birds seem to be eating them as quickly as they ripen. But we might be lucky and have the odd one, but no cherries today. Which brings us to the raspberries. There's a really nice crop of summer raspberries so far, just lots and lots of them. When they turn sort of a purpley colour they're ready. Raspberries should be a nice orderly rows, but so these aren't terribly organised. So just when they're ready to come, they just pull off. If they don't pull off, they're not ready yet. So just like that, see, and they just pull off. And I've got my little bowl right down here. And there's just a load of them today. Now raspberries, they're either summer raspberries or autumn raspberries. The summer raspberries have last year's canes, which then have little branches off them, and then they have the flowers and then the fruit. Whereas autumn raspberries, they sort of grow with these canes and flower on this year's canes, and they won't come till later in the year. So having both of them growing is good, because then you get raspberries right the way from July. This year's a bit early, and they're right literally until the frost starts. So if you haven't had frost by December, you still have a few raspberries on sunny days. In the wet weather, they tend to go to mush, but if it's nice dry weather, they're okay. And you get loads every day really. This is quite a disorderly clump. There should be in nice little rows, 2 feet apart or so, but here they're just growing in a big mass in the orchard, and they seem pretty happy here, and they always produce loads of fruit. So if it works, you know, don't fix it. And a lot of them fall apart when I pick them, but that's okay, they're still edible. And they're just really nice with loads and loads of things. Raspberries are very versatile. There's a lovely big load of them just there. Really, really nice. And just sort of go through. That one's not ready yet. That one just pull off. That one pull off. You see, if they're ready, they just pull off. And Because it's really quite quick to pick them, especially if you pick them with a two-handed method. Just filter them all through into the palms of your hands. You stick them all down there. And everywhere I look, all around me is raspberries. And it's just lovely. And I haven't done anything to these for years and years. And they were in orderly rows when I put them in here. But now they're just like a complete mess. But a very productive mess. And some of them hide lower down, just like with the strawberries. Ow! The stinging nettle there. And I just go on picking them for ages and ages. Just make sure if there's chewed ones, just let them drop to the ground. And just loads of them, just be here for ages just picking raspberries. And they are such a nice flavoured fruit, and they have so many health benefits. Just really, really nice. Look at what we've got so far. Oh, there's some more over here. And as I look further down, I can see loads more of them. And if they go squishy, just let them drop. There's a big load in there. It's hiding in all these stinging nettles in here. And you could just pick so many of them in such a short space of time. Just millions and millions and millions of them. That's a nasty one. If they've got anything nasty on them, just let them drop. Or if they're mouldy like that, just flick them off. And if they're not, they're fine. You see, you don't want mouldy ones left on there because they might spread to some of the others. That's not very nice. That can go. And oh, they look a bit overripe, but they're kind of okay. They're a bit suspect, those ones. If they're near the ground, they're not usually very nice. And those ones are probably not quite right because they're a bit red still. They won't come off. Those ones are a bit ripe, and those ones are a bit overripe. So I'll try a few more over here. Very, very quick to pick. Most of this side seems to be autumn raspberries, but there's quite a few summer raspberries as well. Nice one there. Right, so I really do think this is probably enough for me to have with a bit of yogurt or something tonight. And that's just lovely, and I could just pick that every day with really little work, very little work at all, just to keep them going. They're all very, very tough plants. But I think that's enough raspberry picking for today, and berry picking. So hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please ask, because I love answering questions. And if you press the little me, which is down there somewhere, you can see all my other videos. And I shall see you next time.